Hey guys, it's Yu-Gi-Oh memes back again for another YouTube video. Um, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh memes. There it is. What I want to talk about? Oh, oops. What I want to talk about is water deck. Mermails, Atlanteans. This is kind of like my version of the water deck. Like, I honestly made this like half an hour ago, really quickly. Just from what I've seen, I haven't copied anyone's deck or anything, but I just want to get into it because this deck has a lot of, it had a lot of hype when it first came out. I know I'm pretty late, but now that it's like midway, I want to talk about reasons of why it's good and why it isn't and why it's hyped up. Well, first of all, being able to use Gen X Online in this day is fucking broke because of the fact that you're able to pitch your infantries and your marksmen just to pop face ups and face down, and that can really be annoying for most decks. Just getting online first turn, even at that, you just go online, pitch Dragoon, get controller, Dragoon's effect, get Maloon Glacier, you get a Diva, you get any of these guys, you get a Megalo. It's really good. It's almost no, it's an auto plus. It's almost a Stratos, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna get limited or anything because online is it's not versatile at all. Really, it's only used in this deck. Um, yeah. So, things I hate about this deck personally are the fact that controllers clump up. I know you have a lure, but even at that, controllers in your hand are so dead and so stupid sometimes. Like I've been using this deck like for like a couple of duels actually. I've been using it, but it's so annoying having the controllers just in your hand, not doing anything, especially after you search them out with Unline, because it takes so long to summon them, and most likely your Unline's gonna die next turn because it's only a 1200 monster, so it's not gonna do much. Let's see other things that suck with this deck. Well, the fact that you have to run like a lot of monsters, because they all work in synergy with each other. That's cool, but it also sucks because there's times where I wish I would have had more traps. And this is my build. Like I've seen other people run like double mirror force, double compulse, and I would want to do that. But I like the idea of judgment warning and torrential in this deck personally. Oh, sorry, let me check my message. I like it, Alex. Hey, um, yeah. Another thing, the fact that this deck doesn't main MST. I know I've seen some builds that do, but it's really hard to throw in an MST into this deck. I know people say you don't need them because you have the ability to pop with infantry and marksmen, but honestly, the fact that you oh not need it, but the fact that Undyne is the quickest way to abuse their effects, it just takes long if you don't have an Undyne because then you if you don't, it's just dumb. I don't know. I really don't think not running MSC in this deck is a good idea. Especially since everyone's trying to main macro in their decks and everything, and it's so easy. I know people will side in MSTs with this deck. It's pretty obvious. I don't have a side deck, obviously, so yeah. Again, I just made it really quick. Um, I want to get to the trap, the abyss sphere. This is the only abyss trap that they run, and there's a few abyss traps out there, but nobody really wins them. I don't know why. But yeah, I like the abyss sphere trap a lot. It's kind of it's really good actually. I don't know why people don't really main three. I honestly love three with three mermaids and two megalos. It's just good. You set the trap. If they MST it, then you can chain it, and then you chain to the mermaid, and then mermaid gets the effect, and you special either spike or the megalo, or yeah, spike or megalo. And you get oops, what did I do? Yeah, so you get that, and then not only that, Megalo will get the. No, wait, does Megalo get the effect? You can add one. Oh no, you don't get the effect of Megalo, but still, 24 free 24 beater. That's still pretty good. Um, Another thing that I like about the thing that sucks about this is things about Trapstone and Decree. They'll stop it and they'll leave it sitting there, so which means that the Gores could possibly be dead. And I like Gores because I really don't think this isn't gonna be dead for too long unless you go up against Trapstone or Decree. So I personally like Gores. Um, Another thing is that if I activate it and then it'll chain MST, then it won't go off. So then it'll just die and I won't get a mermaid or anything. And that happened to me today too, so that kind of sucks. But other than that, the fact that it's probably one of the only traps you run, people are afraid of MSTing it unless they have protection for it. So a lot of times I'll set warning, set judgment, set torrential, and they'll just go off as if it's a sphere, and then I'll torrential midway, and they'll be like, "Wow, what the fuck am I playing?" Um, that's really good. The fact that Avarice is here, Avarice is live by about turn three or turn two, so yeah, that's really good. Salvage too. Salvage is pretty much always live because it's so easy to pitch your monsters. And like the biggest thing that's annoying with this deck is the fucking Elemental Lord Moon Glacier. Now every time I play against Mermails, every time I play against this deck, since I run Chaos Dragons, I always try to keep a Baylor in my hand purely because of the fact that I hate the minus that Moon Glacier gives you. And the fact that it's 28 it's already hard enough to get around, but it's the fact that it makes you go, it discards 2 cards from your hand, that's not even fair. Of course, it does have the back draw if your opponent can attack the next turn after you kill it, but that's not that big of a deal. You just made them lose 2 cards in their hand. You just have to get over 28 beater. The Cash Dragon is a little easier to get around it, but I can only imagine other decks like Rabbit, like how the hell are you supposed to get around it? Yeah, let's see. Dragoon's effect is broken with the Undyne, obviously, you search out. The fact that Infantry is good because he has a second effect too to normal summon an extra turn. That normal summon again, that turn. So a lot of times you can go Diva, you can go into Infantry. Infantry's effect, you can go into another Diva, and then Diva's effect, you go into another monster, and you can make a Armory Arm and Catastrophe, Armory Arm and Librarian plays. Let's see. Oh, Marksman's effect too. The fact that it gets another monster out on the field, which is kind of weird because personally I don't main the other Atlantean. I'm gonna show you what it is. This guy. I don't main this guy. I've still I know like one of the guys who works at my old ghost Trayvon mains him. I like him, but I really don't feel like I can fit him in here. But again, the fact that he brings another monster, so you can attack, bring out infantry's effect main phase 2, you can normal summon again, stuff like that. And I honestly like the fact that I run Lance. Oops, I like that I run Lance in his deck because of Marksman's effects. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like a mini Guaiba in my eyes. But yeah, I have the Gorse for protection. That's my opinion. Abyss Spike is good because you can get him out with the sphere. You can get him out with the mermaid lady, Abyss Lind or whatever. When you summon, you discard a water monster to the graveyard, and you add one level 3 or lower. No wait, add one level 3 monster from your deck to your hand. So yeah, you do that, you pitch it, and then you're getting Undyne, free Undyne. And free Undyne, and then whatever you pitch too. So you can pitch Dragoon, you can pitch the infantry, you can pitch the marksman, you pop cards on the field. Stuff like that. Allure of Darkness. The reason people run Allure of Darkness in his deck is because of the dead controllers and the Gores, and I see people run Shrag in his deck too, so that's another good target. I kind of like Allure because it's kind of like, yeah, get this fucking dead card out of my hand. It's really good. I have Lance because I love Lance. I try to put Lance in almost every deck. 2 Salvage. I always see people play 2 Salvage. I personally don't like 3 because of the fact that it's not always going to be live. I know it's generally going to be live, but I mean, the real only targets are the Mermails, the Undyne, the Divas. Actually, there's a lot of targets, but the fact that, I don't know, I think 2 Salvage is fine for me. I don't need 3. You recycle this, you don't recycle, but you have enough cards in his deck already to get rid of your opponent's things. I really don't think you need 3 Salvage at that. Oh, and the new card that I found this morning actually is this one. I don't know when this is coming out. I hope this comes out in the fire set. If it does, then I'll probably make this deck because this card's pretty good. It's almost the exact same thing as Megalo, the Abyss Megalo, and instead of discarding 2 water monsters, you discard 3 to special summon him. But he's 27 beater. You can also bring it out with the Mermaid's effect or the Abyss Sphere. Again, when you summon him, you target 1 Spell Trap Abyss card in your graveyard and you add it to your hand. So if you had a sphere in your grave, you get it back to your hand. That's a pretty good plus. Not only that, it has a pretty good effect too. You can is it tribute or destroy? Let me see. Yeah, tribute 1 face-up attack position mermail monster you control. Your opponent randomly selects 1 card from their hand and sends it to the graveyard. So that's good. So it's not even like, even if you do it against Darkholds, it won't get the effect because it sends it. You can only use the effect once per turn, obviously, so you can't really. I don't know if there's gonna be a loop with it. I really doubt it. I'm not gonna think about that right now because yeah, I can't figure that out. So yeah, that card's good. Like I can honestly see that in future plays. I don't know how many people are gonna run because some people already hate the fact that trying to run 3 Megalo is bad. So I put 2 Megalo in one of this guy. But one time mid game, I was like, if I would have put like 2 Megalo and 2 this guy, I would have won because he's just good. So I might run another one. Real quickly, the fact that you can run synchros in his deck, Catastrophe, Armory Arm, Gaia, that's amazing. Gungnir plays are fucking broken because not only do you ditch for a cost, so these guys will get their effect to pop also again. DeLorean I like it a lot because you can use your sphere, activate sphere, then make DeLorean, then bounce sphere back to your hand, then attack, and then set sphere again. Scrap Dragon and Stardust because they're just good dragons to have. For Exceeds, I really just have like Gachi Gachi and stuff like that. I have gone into Big Eye a few times and I have used this guy. I don't know if people don't run him. I love him actually. I have used this guy against Watts, the Hopper Lock, so I just won. So yeah, that's what I think of the water deck, and that's why I think it's good and bad. So yeah, thanks, I guess.